Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Dr. Sheila Craig Whiteman, and I have a wonderful guest. We are going to talk about health, but this is going to be more mental health, physical health too, but we have to get everything together so that we can live well. My guest today is Lori Bryant Woolridge. And I'll just read a little bit of her bio. She has a great bio. We'll get a little bit about her over the next couple of weeks. She's going to be a guest a few times because she has so much valuable information for us that I did not want it to go to waste and us not hear it. So she's going to be with us for a couple of our shows. So Lori is an intuitive love coach, and she is certified by the International Coach Federation, and she's an author, speaker, and an angel scribe. She is the founder of Soul Innovations Coaching Group and the creator of the Soul Sexy Transformation, a series of curriculum designed to teach women self-love, acceptance, and sexual ownership. Lori is an Emmy Award-winning writer and the author of 8 books and an entertaining motivational speaker. She has contributed expert commentary on sensuality, love, and relationships to online and print media, including Huffington Post, Essence, Psychologies, and Cosmopolitan magazines. She is the Health and Wellness Director for the International Love Life Lux Jazz Experience, the creator of the Past Joy Project, which is a school-based program designed to teach students of color how to harness joy and to use it to power their passions and purpose. Please help me to welcome Lori. She's going to come right onto our stage in just a second. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Dr. Sheila. How are you?
I am fabulous. How are you?
I'm well and so delighted to be with you today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. It is my pleasure, believe me. So today's topic is going to be successful single searching, the physical and emotional wear and tear of looking for love. So many successful single women are sick of losing their sight of love. Successful in so many other areas of their lives, the impact of not being able to find and sustain a fulfilling relationship takes a toll both physically and emotionally. How does one change the course of their romantic life? And where does one search and find love? What an interesting topic for today. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. So let's start out. What is the number one question women are asking about this that they shouldn't?
Yeah. So, I'm getting lots of feedback. I'm sorry.
We hear you just fine.
Okay. So the number one question that people ask or women ask all the time are
No, please keep going. Please keep going. You can go. It's going to change back and forth throughout it's going to change.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So
that's okay. That's okay. Go right ahead.
The questions women ask are the ones that have no satisfying answers. And they're the questions that leave you to create these limited thoughts and beliefs that just push you into that whole, I can't find love, I'm not lovable, I'm not worthy cycle. So the questions that they're asking, they're totally wrong, are things like, why am I single? Or where's my mate? You have no control over those questions. You have no inkling over the true answers to those questions. And so what happens is we build the reasons in order to answer those questions, reasons to rationalize where we are. So things like, all the good ones are taken, or they just can't deal with my success, or I always pick the wrong partner, or, I'm just not meant to have that kind of relationship. Things like that we tell ourselves out loud, we tell our girlfriends when we're complaining and kind of whining about why our love lives don't match our professional lives. And that leads us to the number one worst question, which is, what's wrong with me? And that question pulls and drags us down that low self-esteem path. And it's really one of the questions that we keep cycling and cycling in this negative spiral that just keeps us feeling bad about ourselves. So a better question is, what am I doing wrong? Because when we talk about what we're doing wrong, we are women who know how to problem solve. We are women that know how to use critical thinking to understand what these obstacles are and how to get over it. So asking those questions with the right knowledge behind us, the right reflective work behind us, the right understanding of who we are and what we want, that question will help us get what we want. So it's all about asking questions that you have some impact on the answer in a real way.
That is actually so profound. And I don't think a lot of people have, or women, maybe men too, because actually men say the same thing. They actually do. But I don't know if women think about turning the situation around to think of it in a different way. And so many things are just already about mindset.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, changing your mindset and changing the way you think of things, whatever the situation is, actually changes sometimes your outcome.
Well, it changes everything. And especially when we're talking, and that's a great point that you brought up, because our mindset is created by our thoughts. And our thoughts, though, create what we believe. Mm-hmm. And beliefs are just thoughts we think over and over and over again. All the good ones are taken. I'm just, nobody wants me. They all want younger women, whatever. It's just thoughts we think over and over until it's what we believe. And then our beliefs impact how we see the world, our perception of the world, and our place in it. So if we see ourselves as too old for love, or not, that love isn't just supposed to be part of my life, or that there just aren't any good men left or women left, then we act accordingly. Our behaviors then become those that kind of are a self-fulfilling prophecy, and that creates our reality. So you were like dead on that. If you want to change this, you got to change your mindset, which begins with those thoughts. And people think thoughts are these just little wisps of wonder, they float in one ear and out the other. But what you thought yesterday created your reality today. And what you're thinking today is going to create your reality tomorrow. So thoughts are important. And it's really, your thoughts are the number one thing that are keeping you single.
Wow, really interesting. But I do know, thoughts and manifestation go hand in hand. So, absolutely. But that last sentence that you made, your thoughts are what's keeping you single. Wow. That is one of the drop the mic, throw it to the side and kick it. That's one of the things I'd be like, oh, wow. Yeah. So what impact does not being able to find love have on a person?
Yeah, first I got to preface that question with saying that people do not understand. Love is one of those things that we just don't know anything about. We really do not understand what love really is, what it's supposed to do, how it impacts us, all those kind of things. And so because we don't understand it, and literally, who studies love except for, some love junkies? Hey. But I've always been curious about love. I have always been enamored with it. I've always been, and so it's caused me to explore it and read about it, learn about it, write about it, teach about it, and now coach about it. And so one of the things that I've really learned, women, particularly successful women, who have lots of success in other parts of their lives, but can't seem to get it together in their love life. And that has a huge impact mentally, emotionally, and physically on them, and in ways they don't really recognize, because of their success, they have a lot of means and things to hide. To hide in a social life, hide in high intense work situations, hide in travel, hide in shopping, hide from the thing they can't seem to grasp onto. So mentally, the idea of, if you take it a couple steps further, not having that kind of love that you want, companionship, sharing, it really manifests itself in that type of loneliness. And loneliness has higher rates of depression and anxiety. It is a really, it impacts us that way. Substance abuse, because you're self-medicating, all that kinds of stuff. I have one client who just said, I realize I need to turn my wine into water, because I turned my water into wine. But it was like, you start with the wine to unwind, and then you're trying to feel better that you're sitting alone another night. So the depression and anxiety and other things that come with it are really part and parcel. Emotionally, it takes a toll on your feminine confidence and self-esteem. So again, if you're a successful businesswoman, a successful doctor, successful whatever, but you can't seem to get it together, your life together in terms of the love, that's your feminine confidence. It's different from the confidence that helps you, climb the corporate ladder. This is the confidence that says who I am as a woman, the attractiveness, my worthiness, my lovability, all that kind of stuff. So being not able to find the love that you want, that you feel like it's going to complete you, kind of, takes a toll on that side of yourself. It leaves you discouraged. It leaves you buying into myths and untruths about yourself. I'm not worthy. I'm not lovable. About love hurts. It's it's elusive. Only certain people, I guess, get it. About relationships, I'm just not good at relationships. Relationships never last. All those things that keep building up and spiraling you and sinking you further into that place of, I'm just not meant to have love. It also leaves you both lonely and alone. And again, we talk about that mental health, but think about, all of you guys out there, think about what it's felt like in this pandemic if you have been single. There is this emotional cost that comes from living lonely, but there's a physical cost as well. And the pandemic has really showed us some of them. So overall research from places like the Harvard Medical School has said that meaningful relationships play a huge role in health, in happiness, and in longevity, the span of life. It also shows that touch and sex and a caring attitude and caring attention come with romantic relationships, fend off that loneliness and the isolation that's once again detrimental to our mental and emotional health. So the pandemic brought that home, because if you look at research and studies, the physical symptoms like weight gain, like hair loss, like insomnia, stroke, heart disease, other things that they are attributing to people being alone and lonely through this year without physical touch, without social, interactions. So being part of a relationship really it impacts all of our emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual components. And guess what? And then you know this, in relationships, you have a tendency to have more regular sex. And more regular sex is also a driver to a healthier physical, emotional, and mental life.
So true. Yes.
So,
and let me just say this, because I don't, depending on how you look the show or how you know me. So Lori says, and you know this, so let me just preface that. So she is saying that because she's kind of, because Lori and I know each other. She threw that out because I am a pelvic health physical therapist. And I do help women not only with stopping their bladder leaks, which is my signature program, but I do also help women who have issues with, having painful sex or just not being able to have intercourse because of various reasons, mostly pain, anatomical, etc. So I will back that statement up as to why I know and I understand what she's saying. And of course, knowing that, I also understand the benefits of sex and just the benefits of human touch, et cetera, et cetera. So
Yeah.
now, with that interjection, we can move back to your statements, Lori.
I have to say, Dr. Sheila, that is one of the most your ability. So we have done couple of workshops together with this, and where you have done the kind of physical side, and I've done the mental and spiritual side, and you are able to break this stuff down physically in a way that people understand. I mean, people have asked us questions, and more poignantly, you questions, and I know they don't even ask their doctors to get relief and stuff. So yeah, I didn't mean to out you as the sexy.
No, I mean, it's fine because I just brought up, I'm always happy for people to know what I do, but I didn't want to leave that hanging out there. People are like, what's she trying to say about her and this? What's this?
No, you are amazing with that. And I love when we do our little, workshop on that, because it's powerful. Because people get the total package of the physical, mental, spiritual, emotional side. And so, it does, being lonely and that ability to never feel like you're enough that somebody else wants you, it takes a huge, huge impact. So it is no joke. It really is vital to our ability to live a loving, healthy, fulfilling life.
Yeah, and while you were saying all of that, what struck me too is, especially for women who have powerful positions or women who have high ranking positions who are unable to find that mate or to find love, just think that you are successful in every other part of your life and can't get this part together. Excuse me, and just how frustrating that must be, and how it just must really take away from a part of your self-esteem.
Oh my God, totally.
Yeah, and that part of you who is like, I can do anything, because that's, as women, we're like, I can do anything, but then you're looking at this part and you're like, oh my goodness, but I can't really.
Yeah, and think about the stigma. There is a stigma in this society to be single and not to, to not have that mate. And it doesn't matter how much we've progressed to women being successful on their own and creating financial empires on their own and taking care of themselves like that. The idea that you are still single carries such a huge stigma with it. That is debilitating and soul crushing. And the other thing it does, it makes you wonder, what is it? It makes you, sorry, brain fart.
Hey, we all have
it has you settling in so many areas and making decisions that are not really best for you and your best interest, and really go against what you already know and what you want. But we settle because at least I've been married and divorced. I've heard that 100 times. At this, well, I know, but it was better than being alone. Well, is it? Because now you're sitting here feeling like what, So there's a big old package that comes with the idea of being successful in one area and not successful in another. And one of the parts that's really confusing to women is that I'm so confident about who I am in the business world.
Right.
But And so it's a little bit of a push into making them realize that confidence does not translate into self-esteem, because confidence is a task-oriented emotion. You can come into a new job and have kind of low confidence. Can I really do this? Am I going to get along with people? How are my relationships? But as time goes on and you get more familiar with what you're doing and all that stuff, your confidence grows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Self-esteem is how you see your worth. So I coach so many women who at work are kick-arse women. Nobody can tell them anything. They are, global directors of their companies. They are running, major companies, and yet they feel a lack of worth, a lack of deservedness, because they cannot find these relationships in their lives.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think I can certainly understand, and I think a lot of our viewers can really understand what you're saying, and it's a lot of people. So, yeah, a lot of people. But let me ask you another question. So, what do you mean by leveling up or changing your mindset when it comes to love? So give us information on number one, what do you mean by it? And then how can maybe those of us who need to do that begin that journey?
Yeah. So when I say level up your mindset, it comes from just, I've been coaching women for almost 14 years now. And my signature program is Successful, Single, and Ready. And one of the most frequent complaints I hear from women is, I don't know where to look. I don't know where to find. I don't know where to meet the right kind of person. And my answer to that question is probably annoying to 90% of them, which is your job is not to look for or know how or where your, what I call big love, is going to appear. Because we have been led to believe, are told, that searching for love is how true and relationships that last and that make us happy is found. I'm going to look, we're going out there and we're looking at, we go to the gym to get ready. We're going where the boys are. We're going to the golf course and the gyms and church. We're going to meetups and we're going to apps to find, and it's not producing the results that we want. And so contrary to what people think, we're not supposed to be playing hide and seek with our mates, our partners. So because we're using that same old mindset and doing the same old things, which basically boils down to the pick me approach. Please pick me. Please validate me. Please prove to me that I'm worthy and I'm lovable and I'm wanted. So that is a mindset that's old school and has not produced the kind of life and the relationships that my clients want. So I work with clients to up-level their mindset. And what that means is transforming their thoughts and beliefs and perceptions, mainly about who they are and what they deserve. But along with that is using tools and techniques that they're already using on a subconscious level. That when you understand how to use these techniques, like the law of attraction, like creating and manifesting, you are able to create the life that you are meant to have. So that's what we're talking about, leveling up your mindset, a whole new way of thinking about, one, yourself, and two, the way love operates. So it's about transforming your love life from the inside out, starting with you, starting with how much you love and your own sense of worth and deservedness, your understanding about what love is and what love isn't, and figuring out why you're so afraid of love, which is, it's a big, big issue. So yeah, so level up your mindset is really about a new way of looking at yourself and looking at the way love comes into your life.
And you said the word fear.
Mm-hmm.
So what role does fear play into all of this?
Huge. It is huge. And the truth is, you can't embrace whatever scares you. So fear is just like a huge blocker when it comes to love. So what do you think the number one word is associated with love?
Can't.
Mm-hmm. Which is another dialect of fear. Fear is the number one thing my clients come to me. I'm afraid of love. They may not say it in those words. It may be, I can't, it's hard. It's, it's never, it's a loose, whatever the other words, but it really comes down to fear. And so again, like I said earlier, love is the one thing that we ultimately desire. We don't understand it, and it's the thing we fear most. So the thing I would tell everybody is, please write this down on a post-it and stick it on a wall. The thing that you fear is not love. You are not afraid of love, nor should you be, because love can never hurt you. Love does not work that way. And what love actually is unmanifested energy. And because you are manifested energy, yeah, this is some of that next level stuff.
Yeah, you see, I'm leaning in. I'm like, wait a minute. I left my pen on the other side, but I really need to have my pen and paper for the note situation.
Right. But because our essence is love. And so love, it's who we are. Love is who we are. Love is our whole energetic makeup. So love will never hurt you. What you're afraid of is not being loved. What you're afraid of is the one you love won't love you back. What you're afraid of is you're not good enough to be loved. So don't get it twisted, because you don't ever want to be afraid of love. So what you have to recognize is that love is the way, and love is on the way. And one of the dialects of love is hope. And you want to keep hope alive, because with hope comes possibility, and with love, everything is possible. Everything. So one of the big things we do when we're leveling up your mindset and your toolkit is to have a really complete understanding of what love is and how it shows up, and the 5 different kinds of love. Because one of the things that we think erroneously is nobody loves me. People respect me, they think, whatever, but people don't love me. And when I take them through the different kinds of love and how much love there is around them, it's amazing. You are always loved. And as you mentioned in the beginning that I'm an angel scribe, which just means that I channel the angel realm, which is part of just where I am on my spiritual, in my spiritual development. And one of the things that they have said is that there is no lack. You do not lack love. You lack the ability to recognize love. And so when you recognize how much love is around you, you recognize that love is infinite. There is nothing to be fearful of. You don't have to hang on to things that don't serve you, relationships that you're not happy in, because you're afraid, if not this, who? There is always someone else. There is always love to be found. And so part of what you have to do is recognize what frightens you about love, knowing that it's not love. Is that I won't find love. I won't have love. I'm not capable of maintaining love. All those kind of things. And the antidote to all of it is loving yourself. The more you love yourself, the more you feel complete. The more you feel complete, the less you're looking for other people to give you what you can't find
Yes.
within. And it changes the whole dynamic of every relationship that you're in.
Wow. I'm just gonna let that sit there for a few seconds.
It is.
Because that was really powerful. That was a lot of good gems tucked into one answer. I feel like I should have picked some things out just for repeating. But and you can always just so you know, this is a show on the streaming network. So this is on KP Media, and it streams on Amazon Fire, Roku, Google, and there's a couple other ones. But we also do stream to Facebook too, and to a webcast. So this is always going to be available on Facebook videos. So you can look and whatever tidbits, because this might be something that you listen to if this applies to you.
Yeah.
And I have to say though, not saying that it applies to you and that you're looking for a mate. You can still have a mate and this can still apply to you.
Oh, absolutely. Fear of love,
Yeah.
the lack of self-love and worth, because it's that self-love that impacts every kind of relationship. It doesn't matter if it is with your children, with your siblings, with your parents, or with your lover. It doesn't matter. And what's really interesting, Sheila, is that the work to be done will happen wherever you are. So a lot of my clients that are in the successful single and ready program, their love relationship lessons and work is done through their work relationships, because that's where they feel the most competent and comfortable.
Right.
But so relationships, the issues they have with coworkers, with higher ups, with lower downs, are all things that ultimately will relate to the way they are in a love relationship. And so that's again, put it on a post-it, stick it on a wall. Me loving myself changes everything. But again, like I said earlier, self and relationships, self and love, we do not connect the two.
No.
It's always about loving someone else loving me. It's all about I want a relationship with someone else, or someone else, relating to me. A relationship only means connection. So again, when in this program, we're doing the work for you to find and fall in love with the best of yourself. And when you do that, you create a healthy, sustaining relationship with yourself. And that means you are able to make decisions with more clarity because you know what you want and you're not settling. You are able to stop being a people pleaser. You are stop trying to not be the bold woman that you are at work, but be the soft, whatever. You're not personality shifting because you think it would be better in a relationship. You are loving and being exactly who you are, authentically yourself. And when you do that, you don't have to look for anybody. You don't have to search for love. It will find you.
Wow. Very powerful, very powerful. And I do like the reference that you made that even changing your thoughts to a more loving attitude towards yourself will improve your relationships, because it doesn't necessarily have, this particular talk is about mate, but you mentioned family, siblings, like, okay, so, that's like a firecracker right there for a lot of people.
Yeah. So what's really interesting, and again, like I said, people don't understand love. They don't understand what relationships are. So again, this is part of some of the next level mindset, the next level thinking and understanding that we do, is that relationships are literally laboratories. And that every relationship you are in is about teaching you who you are and what you're supposed to learn so that you can level up. And so relationships are mirrors. Every relationship you have, it doesn't matter what kind of relationship, mirrors back to you your thoughts, your beliefs, where you're judgmental, where you are, feeling not worthy, all those things. So if we are able to look at relationships for what they are, then we can know what we're supposed to get out of them. And we know, and so it's how we change our thoughts about who we are within the concept of a relationship. So instead of being, when you're in a relationship and, jealousy, let's say jealousy impacts, and we always are like, if they didn't do this, I wouldn't be like this, and so I don't trust you, so this is where I am. And we always look outward to our relationship issues to solve them, so to speak, but we never solve them, because what jealousy is a quote unquote negative emotion, right? Mm-hmm. But we then sort of take on the emotion, and so our identity becomes a jealous person, which is something that we never want to do. What we want to do is see jealousy as the indicator that it is, not judge it as negative, not judge it as positive, not judge it as anything, but knowing there's something, the reason I am jealous is something I am lacking within. Why am I jealous? And if you start peeling back the layers, I'm jealous because I don't want anybody else to have them. Why don't I want anybody else to have them? Because if somebody else has them, he could leave me. Oh, well, what am I afraid of him leaving me? I'll be alone. And you peel back the layers to what you were really afraid of, and that's where the work comes in. But if you only are blaming, you never get to what needs to be done for your own growth and soul evolution. You are only blaming, that sort of takes the onus off of you, but nothing ever changes.
Right.
And then if you do recognize, oh, why am I so jealous? Why am I always doing this? I'm pushing him away. I recognize my behavior is pushing him away. But if you don't go underneath the layers to really reflect and understand where that jealousy is coming from. And can I tell you, to just, make a long story short, when you peel it back, it's always because we don't love ourselves enough. Mm-hmm. And that's why any relationship that you want, that big love, you have to do the work to love yourself in a way that you are able to give the same love in return. It's that law of attraction thing.
Right. Wow. Well, let me ask you something else. So you don't like the words find,
no,
and search,
no,
when it comes to romantic relationships. Can you tell us why you don't like those words?
Yes, those are no-nos. And if you work with me, we don't get to use them. Part of it is that mindset shift. Part of it is that leveling up. And part of it is going with those tools that we talked about. So first of all, the connotations, the emotional connection to we have the word to find and to search implies that we lack something. That if I am trying to find something, it's because I don't have something. What don't I have? I don't have love. Well, you have plenty of love. You're just not recognizing it. So that's one reason. The second reason is because of who we are and that old pick-me approach, we gussy up. See me, pick me, want me. And we give our power away, right? When we're searching, when we're finding, it becomes a job. It becomes something that can be punitive Because when I'm searching and I'm finding, and the more desperate I am to search and find, and it's far, I can't see it, it's not happening, it is punitive, and it affects our self-esteem and all that stuff we've talked about earlier.
Right.
And lastly, you don't need to do that hard work. And most of the time when you're searching, you're actually looking for somebody else's flame to flit your little moth self around, right? And so what we are trying to do is, as we level up, is to look at the tools that we have and what are the mindsets and the concepts and the beliefs we need to make those tools work for us. And so one of those tools, let's talk about the law of attraction now. So the law of attraction, you know what that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the law of attraction?
The law of attraction is that you actually attract what you think and what you and how you act. Meaning in general. I'm not talking about love. So I'm just talking about in general. So the law of, and I can't say it in actual words because there is a whole thing, but it's really the law of attraction is you attract what you manifest, or you attract what you think, or you attract what you think is going to happen.
Right. And so that is an explanation that most people will give you. It has something to do with what I put out, I'm going to get back, but there is no real understanding. The truth is, we use the law of attraction every single day. The law of attraction is just like gravity. It is part of science. It is part of the universal laws. It is part of the spiritual tool set and spiritual tools. So here's the thing. Universal law just says it is recognized globally as a real thing, the law of attraction. Quantum physics says it is recognized globally as a scientific fact and truth. Spiritually, it is one of the tools that we are given to live what is supposed to be, which is divinely intended to be heaven on earth. The law of attraction is one of the tools we have to attract the love and the joy and the abundance that we are meant to go through our life here with. So you can look at it from any direction to say the law of attraction is real. And like gravity, which we all know, and we use every day, it's around us, whether we like it or not. We're never even thinking about it, whether we notice it or not. Law of gravity is always working. It doesn't matter if you drop a pillow or you drop the most valuable, crystal vase that's been in your family for centuries. Law of attraction don't care. It's going to work just like it's gonna. Law of attraction is the same thing. So let me just break it down to you a little bit. So the law of attraction, quantum physics, spiritual tool, universal truth, says like energy attracts like energy. Mm-hmm. And that works whether you like it or not. So that means whatever energy you put out is the energy that you are getting back. So a couple things that we need to re-emphasize. One, we are all energy. Two, our thoughts are energy. Our thoughts create vibrations that go out into the world and attract that same energy back. So that's why searching for love and trying to find love generally creates what I call like deja vu dating. All right. We keep attracting the same person that has the same kind of issues or relationships in the same way. And we are, they just have faces, different faces, so we can tell them apart. And we walk away going, that certifying once again that love is not meant for me, that there are no good men, or whatever it is, those limiting thoughts that we just keep thinking over and over. So again, that's why we don't want to use find and search. We want to use the tools that are available to us to attract the love what we want without worry, without stress. You're not doing anything but living your best life. So the other thing that happens is we get caught up in the behaviors of other people And so then we can say, well, I'm not like this person. So how is this the law of attraction? How am I attracting the same thing? Right? He's a cheater and I'm home, loyal, doing what I'm supposed to do or whatever. We're not alike. I don't get it. Break it down. So we get caught up in the behaviors, and the behaviors are just the manifestation of the emotions. So someone who might be a chronic cheater might be somebody who's very insecure about themselves and is running out to try to find validation. Somebody who stays with somebody who's like that, continues and continues, they might feeling a little bit insecure. So they're an enabling behavior based on their own sense of worthiness. Do I not deserve better than this? But I'm going to stay with this. I'm going to try to make this work. So you're still operating from the same emotion, but underneath that emotion is just a manifestation of the energy. And again, to go cut, a long story short, that energy is always the search for self-love, self-validation, self-completion. That's why every relationship is just a laboratory so you can see yourself, so you can see where your gaps are, so that you can do the work that's necessary to transform that energy. So your magnetic root energy is one that is attracting the same quality. So once you raise your energy, you have quality love that you're able to give, and you know that because quality love you're giving yourself, you will only attract that same level of quality. So that's why I don't like to use find or search.
I think we kind of get that now. I certainly will try to take those words away from my vocabulary whenever we speak in regards to this. And I can understand why you don't want your clients to really use those words, because you explained that so well.
Thank
well.
You.
Yes. So we are going to take just a short 30-second break. We have probably one burning question I think we all really want to know that we're going to ask Lori, but we're going to take a short commercial break. And just prefacing my commercial on this particular show, this is a commercial for those of you who are suffering from bladder leaks, and you know who you are. It is very common. Just know that it is very common to suffer from bladder leaks. And if you need help, help is available. It does not have to be. So just add in this short little commercial, and we'll get right back to we'll get back to Dr. Sheila, who is me, and we'll get back to Lori, who is my guest. Hello, we are back. We have one more pressing question that we want to ask Lori before we end this really informative talk. And before I ask that question, though, I want to ask you, Lori, how can people get in contact with you? Because you have said a lot of really thought-provoking and information that would help women who actually are looking for love, and I'm trying to not use the keywords that you don't like.
Attract love.
Yes, thank you. So how can they get in contact with you? And tell us a little bit about your program before I get to this last question, because I don't want to run out of time before we do that.
Yeah, so Successful Single Ready is a 9-month program that takes you through everything that we've kind of been talking about. It starts with looking at who you are and defining yourself outside of being a successful businesswoman. but who are you as a woman? What are your core values? What is it that you want out of your life? And then we go through that to what are some of the things that are keeping you, those thoughts, right? Keeping you from getting what you want. And so there's a lot of early work in defining who you are as a woman, as a partner, looking at your relationship ideas about what you've learned about yourself from your relationships. Then we move into the 5 kinds of love. What is love? We really do a breakdown so you understand what love is, how it surrounds you, what it's meant to do, what it's meant to be. Talk about love and fear. We talk about self-love and how to be love and share love. And then we take a whole breakdown of your relationship history. All the important relationships that you have had. And we break those down into character attributes. And then we develop your composite mate, the person you have been attracting over and over again. And we look at why and how. And then we really break that. So this is the way we begin to transform that energy that you're putting out there. So we do that. And then we go into the work of the law of attraction and how that works, how to create and manifest the relationships that you want. And then the last unit we're looking at, because once we've done all this inner work and you have come from somebody who didn't know themselves and didn't love themselves into somebody who's like really digging themselves and loving who they are and really getting to know themselves based on your own definition, not somebody else's. It's like, how do I launch back out in the real world again? So we do some flirting stuff, but we do it from that lens of next level. What is flirting? We look at setting up your own, sense of wow, that your own brand of charisma and magnetism. We look at how to move in the world of dating again. And we look at sex from a different point of view. A lot of my clients, I run the gamut from millennials to women that are more our age. And we look at how sex is impacted based on age, based on all that kind of stuff. So it's a very comprehensive program that I'm like so jazzed by this program because I love watching this transformation. I love watching women come in with a lot of resistance, a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety about ever feeling that they'll be loved or whatever, to coming out of this, just knowing who they are, loving who they are, and watching the quality of relationships they are beginning to attract as they work themselves up into that big love.
So you actually have answered the last question, and that's a really good, that's actually the secret to attracting love. So because you kind of went us through the entire program. So because in the interest of time, I just want to make sure that we get everything in.
So I would just to put it in a nutshell, the secret to finding and attracting attracting quality love is to be a quality partner.
And I put your website here, so people can go to your website, but you also have another site here. So which, is there any preferences to where you want people to look, or?
Well, the Soul Sexy site really talks about the Soul Sexy transformation into more programming and things like that. The Soul Coach, I coach people, spiritual seekers, all that. So it's a little bit more general of my what I do. Soul Sexy it's more about the this aspect of it. So sensuality, your transformation into the person that you want to be based on who you are.
Wow. Well, I have to say this really, really has been an eye-opener. Even for me, we've talked a lot about a lot of different things, but that doesn't mean that we've gotten this deep actually into this subject. I really don't think that we have.
No.
Really? Yeah, I don't think we have. So it was a lot. It was really interesting for me to hear. And I'm sure even for our listeners because it's very thought-provoking.
Yeah, it's asking you to look at the way you approach your love life from a very different point of view. And
Right.
things that I know that I do well is make the woo-woo relatable and help you understand all these things and how they really impact. And it's freedom. That's what it's about. It's about freedom and empowerment.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Lori. Thank you. Lori Bryant Woolridge, coach extraordinaire. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. And remember, Living Well with Dr. Sheila is shown every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, because I know a lot of our watchers are in California. So that's 9 a.m. bright and early, not quite as early as, because some of us do get up, but a lot earlier than this 12 noon that it is, because I'm on the East Coast. So thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to doing many more shows and having you join me for many more. Lori will actually be back with us next week and for the next 2 weeks. As you know, I like to do series of 3. I don't know why I like 3, but a lot of the guests who I find very interesting, I have them on for 3 sessions because that gives sometimes you the opportunity to ask questions and we can get back to them if you can put them in the Facebook chat. And also it helps to solidify a lot of the things that they do. You know, a lot of the guests are multi-talented. So we don't want to miss any of that talent coming our way. Just a reminder, all of our discussions, of course, are our opinions. So you can have a different opinion if you like, but these are just our opinions and certainly not meant to substitute for any mental health issues or anything like that, excuse me, that you should really find a mental health professional. So until next time, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you again, Lori, and you all have a great day. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.